Welcome to Amplifying Leadership and Tip Thursday with Tara, your weekly dose of practical leadership tips and strategies you can apply immediately to your team or your work. I am Tara Lehman, founder and CEO at Amplifying Leadership. Each week, I'll share insights and takeaways designed to help you build, enhance, and grow your leadership skills. It's actionable guidance you can use right away. Visit us anytime at amplifyingleadership.ca. Have you ever looked at your calendar and thought, if I could just get through this week, things will be better? And then next week starts to look exactly the same, and the week after that, and so on. I think a lot of leaders and business owners really are waiting for things to slow down. They're waiting for that magical point where the emails or the workload starts to get better, the inbox completely under control. I mean, does that ever happen? And then finally, they can catch their breath. The problem is most often that doesn't happen. What I see with business owners and leaders is that they're adapting to unhealthy habits, sometimes unconsciously, and eventually treating them as normal habits. So this could be something like working through lunch or answering emails at all hours or making every decision, and that becomes the norm. However, one day they're coming to me because they're tired and exhausted and frustrated and wondering why leadership feels so hard. So, this month, as you remember, we're talking about sustainable leadership. And today I want to share 3 signs that your leadership habits may not be sustainable long term. The first really big sign is that you're always in reaction mode. So your days might start with emails, then meetings, then someone's problem, and then another problem, and then you have to put some sort of fire out. You spend the entire day reacting to what's happening around you instead of actually leading. And let's be honest, every leader will have reactive days. It's natural and part of the job. The problem is if those reactive days start to become reactive weeks or reactive months, that's when the habit has been built. If you constantly feel like you're putting out fires, it might be time to ask yourself a question and you need to be honest with the answer. Are you leading the business or is the business leading you? Sustainable leadership really does require the space to think, to be strategic and plan and make decisions before anything becomes urgent or becomes a fire. If every day feels like survival mode for you, it really is a warning sign. So pay attention to that. The second sign is that everybody and everything depends on you. And this one shows up so much for small to medium sized businesses, for the business owners and leaders. Maybe you have to approve everything, or you solve every issue, or you answer every single question, and you feel the responsibility to jump in every single time something goes wrong. And at first, this might feel like you're being a responsible leader, but eventually it can become extremely exhausting. And the ironic part here is the more indispensable that you feel you are becoming, the more trapped you are going to be. So if you're a leader who hasn't taken a vacation or can't take a vacation without checking emails every few hours, or maybe you can't even take a day off because nobody else is feeling confident making decisions, that indispensable feeling is not a badge of honor. It is a true risk to your business. If the success of the business depends entirely on one person holding everything together and knowing everything, that's not sustainable. It's really a dependency. So leaders can build capability around them so that the business can function even when they're not there. Now, the third sign I want to talk to you today is that maybe you've stopped paying attention to your own capacity. And this one is the easiest one for us to miss because we tell ourselves we're fine, we're just going to push through. We tell ourselves it's just a busy season, or, oh, after this project's done, things will be easier. The challenge is that leadership that requires energy, focus, patience, strategic thinking, decision making. They don't operate at 100% forever. So just like your phone battery, eventually you need to recharge yourself. And unfortunately, there is no leadership charging cable because if there was, I would be the one who would own one and start selling it, but it doesn't exist. So when leaders ignore their capacity for too long, it starts showing up in other ways. So, people I see are becoming very impatient with their employees. they're not able to make decisions, or maybe they're really struggling to focus, or they can't get control of their calendars. And that's something that I can help everybody with. The quality that they see in their leadership really starts to decline, even though they're working just as hard. And in some cases, they might be working a bit harder, just trying to keep ahead. There are ways around this. And it's another reason why self-care isn't separate from leadership. Don't call it something separately. It's part of leadership. Taking care of yourself as a leader isn't about bubble baths and spa days, although some of us would love that. It's about making sure you have the capacity to lead effectively. So ask yourself, which of these signs sounds most like me right now? Am I constantly reacting? Am I carrying too much myself and not allowing others to do things? Or have I stopped paying attention to what my own capacity and body is telling me? Sustainable leadership is not built through one big decision or one big habit. It's built through the small habits that we practice every single day. And sometimes the strongest thing that you or a leader or business owner can do is actually recognize when a habit that got you here isn't going to get to where you need to go next as a sustainable leader. And that might be where a new habit is required. Thanks for joining me this week. If you need anything, always feel free to reach out. I'll talk to you next week. That's your Tip Thursday with Tara for this week. If you're looking to clarify your leadership priorities, build strong teams, empower those around you, or help with a specific tip, I'm here to help. Explore our programs, coaching, and more at amplifyingleadership.ca, because leadership is better when we do it together.